Okay, we're going to do a website review of treasuredbytiffany.com. The purpose of this website review is just to take a few minutes and go over the homepage of your website and talk about its messaging, placement, what you're saying. We're looking at it from a messaging standpoint, not necessarily a design standpoint, so you can have the most engagement and actually generate more leads, more interactions, and more appointments. So we're going to start with just the top. Now, really, the header is kind of the most important part. When website visitors are coming to your website, they should know what you do and how to contact you and how to connect with you within the first 5 seconds. It should be that fast. Now, remember, most people are on their mobile devices first. They're not on their desktop looking at your website. So they're moving quick. They're scrolling on your site. So we want to make sure that we grab their attention very quickly. They know who you are, what you do, and how to contact you. Okay, so we're going to start with the very top, the word treasured. You have treasured, the key to nurturing yourself, and this little icon image here. This doesn't really say what you do, and that's okay. This is your logo. This is the name of the company. It doesn't necessarily have to. Some companies will have, if it's like a plumber company, it could be Acme Plumbing, right? In our case at Quirk Advertising, it's Quirk Advertising. So it says what you do in the logo, but you don't always have to do that, right? It's totally fine if it's not. So this is okay. What I would say though, my recommendation is to not have this statement here. The key to nurturing yourself. Remove that statement in its entirety. It's kind of out there. That can mean a lot of different things to different people. So now you're actually making me figure out what that is. So I'm thinking a little bit more than I should at the moment. You should just be really giving me the information, right? Another thing I would do is I would actually take all of this content here, all of this, and I would move it to the left. Move it over to the left, all the way over to the corner. And I would actually make it smaller and put it over here. And the reason why is because then you need to take these navigation items and move them up over here, okay? Because what we're trying to do is we're trying to, people read from left to right, top to bottom, right? Left to right, top to bottom. So what we want is let's go ahead and put the logo on the left and then all the calls to action on the right side. Okay, but so far, I'm unclear what you do on your website just by reading what you have so far. Now, looking at your navigation items, right? You have home, about, services, and contact. Still doesn't tell me what you do. I actually have to hover over those items to see what you do. Now, the first thing it looks like you want me to look at are your policies, because it's the first thing I see, right? Policies. Second thing is services, but you want me to look at pricing first. I think we need to make sure that we have these first. However, these drop downs, all they do is add a level of complexity or confusion. So I would actually not even have drop downs. I would have it to where you click the actual page and it then goes to another place on your website where you can explain about all your services. But it wasn't until I hovered over the word services that I figured out what you do. So it's a little too late at that point. I might be moving on to something else. And then the contact button, that's totally fine there. But this doesn't tell me necessarily what you do right away. And then it also adds a layer of complexity with the drop downs. Now, these images, I can sort of get an idea of what you do based off of these images here. I might think you do massages, right? But the problem is because the words you have already on the site are not really that strong, you're leaving me to interpret what this is. So I might omit something that you actually do. I might not think of a service that you actually provide, or I might think of something that you should provide that you don't, right? And so you're kind of leaving that interpretation up to me when you should be spelling that out for me. Now I have a website I'm going to show you here in a minute that shows a great way to structure the content for most optimal impact on your site. Now, below all this, you have this text that says, you hold the keys to unlocking your potential. Just like that statement at the top, I would remove it. It is, again, that can mean a lot of things to a lot of different people, okay? So I would remove that. replace it with a different statement. And we can talk more about that here shortly. So as I scroll down a little bit further, you have this text area that's right here. And I will tell you one thing, the first thing that I see right out of the gate is that you start with my passion, okay? Yes, you're passionate about it, and I'm super excited you are, but it's not about you. It's about your clients. It's about the people who come to you. So we're going to have to reword this content, which is fine. That's the point of this exercise is to reword it. Plus, there's a lot of words. There's a lot of words in one spot. We want to break it up. We want to have titles. We want to have bullet points. We want to have images or icons. Because remember, people on our mobile device, they're scrolling. You want to grab their attention and give them bite-sized things to read, not a full paragraph. Okay, so we'll work on that when it comes to messaging. Now, these 3 items here: facial, skincare, massage. This doesn't tell me what to do, right? So, and also, what if I didn't want any one of these? What do I do now, right? So, I'm unsure what to do with this here. This is definitely great real estate. We can do a 1, 2, 3 type thing, but what you have here is really unclear. Now, by now though, I have figured out that this is the kind of thing that you do, right? Massage, skincare, and facials. But it took me until here for me to realize that's what you do. So by now, I've probably already moved on. Okay, so your social media accounts, this is great. As long as they're active, you can keep them there. You can put them in the footer. You can put them at the top. Just make sure that if they're represented on the site, that you're active on those platforms. All right. Now I see your name, your phone number. Now here's the first time I've seen your name. Thing with that is, well, I mean, it's in your domain, treasured by Tiffany. But who are you? What does that matter? Doesn't really matter, right? The phone number it does. The email it does. Renewed Day Spa, is that the name of your company? I don't know what that is right there. So I might be a little confused what that is. These logos, fantastic. We want to make sure that those actually help build your authority. Okay, so this is great that you put them there. We might want to put them in a different section, but it's great that you have them included. So right now, if I came to your website, I'm not going to actually do much. I'll probably move on because it's taking me a little long to figure out what you do. And then once I did figure it out, I don't know what you want me to do with that information. How do I get started? I don't know how. I know you want them to book a meeting to schedule the first appointment, but based off your website, I wouldn't know how to do that. Okay, so we want to make sure we do that. Now, I want to show you real fast a website. Now, this is a chiropractor, but I want to show you a little bit what I'm talking about. Don't look at design. All I'm telling you about is content, what is being said. So, like I said earlier, logo in the left corner, right? Now, Snow Holistic Health doesn't really say what they do, but really little right below it, chiropractic, nutrition, and lifestyle. So you can kind of understand what they do just by their logo. Doesn't have to be that way, totally fine. Now, their navigation is small. It's not taking up a lot of real estate, but the obvious thing is this nice big call to action right here. And this is what I was talking that you need to have on the top right corner of your site. Make sure you have a big call to action. And yours might say something different, schedule an appointment, book an appointment, whatever it is, but that's what you want the website visitor to do, okay? Now take a look at their content right above it, holistic healthcare to transform your life. You know it has to do with healthcare. Something has to do with healthcare, but it talks about a life transformation. It's kind of helping me know what it's gonna feel like when I've gone there and have them help me with, an issue I have, okay? But here's the cool thing. There's some clarity right below it. Chiropractic, so now I know there are chiropractors. Whole food nutrition, so they can help me figure out what to eat. And then lifestyle, still kind of elusive, but it kind of sounds like you'll help me create a lifestyle out of this. But guess what they're going to do again? Schedule a consultation, right? That's super important. This is what they want you to do. They need a consultation. So scrolling down a little bit further, they have some really great questions here and really great philosophical statements. This will come from your brand script, where it says you shouldn't have to live life to live your life without optimal health and abundant energy. Totally right. asking questions about things I might be dealing with. Are you tired? Are you getting sicker? These are things that, oh man, yeah, you're right. And then I shouldn't, be like that. Well, what do I need to do? Schedule a consultation. See the pattern that's happening here? And again, it doesn't have anything to do with them. They're not saying we have a passion for holistic healthcare. No, it's all about me, all about me. And here's a plan. This is basically your value proposition. This is kind of what you get out of doing business with them, right? So you get different things, and then your main call to action. Again, main call to action. Go down a little bit further. They're giving away a book, or at least the first chapter of it. And so this is a great, transitional call to action as you're waiting before you can, book an appointment. Here's some logos, right? So that's great for certifications or people you work with. Here's their plan, and you can get this plan from your brand script. Again, with the call to action below it. Testimonies, a promise they're making. This is a agreement statements that they're making here with a call to action again. Some additional content. This is great because this is going to be like your narrative that's coming from me. I'll be writing this for you. This is a spot that you can do something like that if you want to. Not required, but it's nice. And then your, we call this the junk drawer, all the extra information that you need later. Okay. So that's just an example. Yours will be designed much better, but wanted to just show you an example of what a story branded website will look like for you from a messaging and placement of message standpoint. All right. Well, if you have any questions, please let me know. And we'll look forward to seeing your website transformed and where you can have more people come and you can help them feel much better about themselves. Thanks so much.